is our MMS group presentation made by Ada Black, Anthony Love, Allison Reddy, and Cameron Bush. Wait. Just get through these. Okay. Attention, buddy. Out of all the non-profit organizations out there, the one I believe is very beneficial is the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army is seen in many different films and television shows, most of the time in the form of Christmas gift boxes and toy drives. This shows that even films about fictional events believe that the Salvation Army is a great organization that supports the entire world.
Have you ever wondered how the Salvation Army came to be? Let's go back to London, England in 1865. Poverty and suffering were widespread issues across the city. William Booth, with his wife Catherine, committed to walking the streets of London and ministering to the broken, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to the poor, the homeless, and the hungry. Under their leadership, a movement began to grow, as did their ministry, recognizing that physical, emotional, social, and spiritual restoration go hand in hand. In William Booth's book, Darkest England and the Way Out, he states, "I must assert in the most unqualified way that it is primarily and mainly for the sake of saving the soul that I seek the salvation of the body." Today, the Salvation Army serves in more than 130 countries across the world, impacting over 25 million people each year in the United States. This looks different everywhere based on the needs of each community. We work to assess local needs by identifying the obstacles and challenges, then develop local programs designed to offer immediate relief, short-term care, and long-term growth. In addition to the well-known Red Kettle, thrift stores, and disaster services, the Salvation Army can be found serving people of all ages in all walks of life. We are motivated by our core values in all we do, choosing to be brave as we help disaster survivors who are searching for a glimpse of hope, showing compassion through our unemployment services and prison ministries for those looking for a way out of their brokenness, passionately caring for our youth through summer camps, daycare centers, educational programs, and providing gifts at Christmas for families in need, being uplifting through our rehabilitation centers and programs for those struggling with alcohol or substance abuse, building trust within communities as we combat human trafficking, love the elderly, and overcome poverty by creating a pathway of hope. At the heart of it all is still the same motivation behind our founder, William Booth's original mission when he started the Salvation Army: to seek and save the lost.
Hi, my name is Anthony Love, and I'm doing the need portion. The need for us to support the Salvation Army is huge. Almost all percent of each state is either homeless or in need of food and shelter. Any donations you make toward the Salvation Army go directly to people who really need it. This helps anyone that gets put in sudden situations like being laid off or house burned down, they can't get food or clothing or something. And we don't want to leave them out in the street to die. That's very important because you never know who that person could be that could end up curing some big disease or solving some problem that they're going to help everyone.
But to the Salvation Army, it means a lot of extraordinary things. It spans the entire calendar year because the need for good is great and means much more than what is seen on the surface. Poverty means more than just someone going hungry. It means going without medical care, without a home, without clothes. For us, doing the most good means providing emergency rent or utility assistance for a family. It is a meal and a conversation at a homeless shelter, a warm coat in the winter. A child at risk means a child stricken of their youth, hiding inside for fear of violence and growing up before they've had a chance to be a child. For us, doing the most good means allowing a child to experience childhood. It means providing a safe place to dream, to explore their future through music, the arts, athletics, friendships, and the chance to simply be a kid. Addiction steals everything: trust, integrity, family, career, and hope. For us, doing the most good means healing the whole person, healing the body through rehabilitation, inspiring the mind through education and counseling, repairing the spirit by reuniting families and restoring communities. Disaster hits on all levels, globally, locally, in many forms. A fire, a flood, a tornado, a pandemic. And doing the most good means being there first and staying throughout. In every zip code, we are supporting not only the survivors, but also the first responders, sacrificing everything for someone else. And we don't leave when the disaster is over, because this is our neighborhood too. We say doing the most good because doing the most feeding, sheltering, educating, rehabilitating, comforting,
Hi, my name is Cameron Bush, and for my part of the project, I chose to do the visualization of the Salvation Army. I'm sure throughout your life you have passed the Red Salvation Army bucket, whether it was at your local grocery store, or your local mall, or maybe a booth at a county fair. But it wasn't just a bucket. There was always someone standing next to it with a Red Salvation Army apron and a bell to gain people's attention walking by. This person was strictly a volunteer. They chose to recognize the need to help the homeless and take time out of their day to raise money, and they gained nothing in return. Thankfully, in the U.S., we have the Salvation Army, or else 10 million people would go without beds to sleep in at night. The Salvation Army's vision is to build homes for the homeless and provide meals for their tables at night. They also wish to provide hygiene products and the necessities that one needs. They want to ease the stress of financial burdens such as paying bills or mortgages with the money that they raise each day. Many people do not know that there are often whole families on the streets without a home to go to, meals to eat, or beds to sleep in. This could be due to disasters such as hurricanes, tornadoes, or financial problems such as not being able to pay bills or mortgages, or maybe the parent had lost their job. By providing houses and necessities, these families were able to enjoy holidays in homes with roofs above their heads and beds to sleep in, thanks to the Salvation Army. This is a world where the Salvation Army helps, but what does one without the Salvation Army look like? A world without the Salvation Army would have an increase of homelessness. There will be many families struggling to provide meals for their families, beds to sleep in, and they would have trouble financially as well. The act of preventing homelessness by assisting in paying bills and those in need would no longer be available if the Salvation Army wasn't around. This would lead to families becoming homeless faster and faster. Children and their families would not have the ability to go home and celebrate holidays in a impact on our world, but without them, homelessness would be untouchable. This is a testimony where the Salvation Army saved a life. This is Robert. He grew up in a family who was heavily addicted to cocaine and alcohol. Eventually, if you grow up in an environment like that, you yourself will become addicted as well. And sure enough, him and his brother became full addicts of cocaine and alcohol, so much so that they decided to sell it to get an income of their own so that they could buy more. Him and his brother ended up in jail over 30 times, and one day while Robert was in jail, he got word that his brother had got killed during a drug deal. You would think that this would turn one's life around, but however, it just did the opposite for him, and he dove deeper into drugs and alcohol. One day, he gave up all hope, and he actually prayed to Satan that if he would provide a good life for him, that he would sell his soul. But soon after that, he saw a scripture on a wall that completely changed his life, and he actually ended up connecting with God. Eventually, Robert became, he got out of jail and was able to file for financial help, and the Salvation Army got in contact with him and was able to provide him with a stable job where he now gets a steady income that doesn't go to drugs or alcohol, and he is now drugs and alcohol free.
And I have the conclusion or the action. In conclusion, the Salvation Army is known all around the world because of its many great acts of kindness it shows upon others. They do this by helping to pay utility bills and deposits, rent and mortgage payments, prescription medicines, and food and clothes and transport vouchers. Today we learn that the Salvation Army is made to support people in financial stress across the entire world, and that if the Salvation Army was non-existent, many children wouldn't be able to celebrate Christmas, many people with homes would be homeless, and many people would die of hunger. Additionally, you should support the Salvation Army by donating canned goods, money, clothing, and unopened toys.
And then this is our work cited. So you can see here, Aiden used the Army, Salvation Army financial assistance, and Anthony used scheduled donation pickups and another source from Salvation Army. I used another source from